Hi,
Uh,
this is Africa Tech Radio's bite-sized tech pods at the Moonshot by Tech About 2025, building momentum. I have a guest with me. We just finished from a panel session from the clean tech stage, and Habiba Ali is her name. She's the MD and CEO of SOSAI
Renewable Energies,
Renewable Energies. So tell us a bit about the work that you do with SOSAI.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am the founder, CEO of SOSAI Renewable Energies. And at SOSAI, what we do is we do business for the good of society. We deploy renewable energy solutions that are solar powered, especially for households and businesses in rural communities. We do things like solar home systems, solar small home systems, mini grids that power whole communities, and mesh grids that also power whole communities. We tie this to ensure that it also powers productive use of energy solutions such that we can ensure for economic growth in the community. And we always ensure our technologies are first being handled by the women in the community. So it has a strong gender approach to it.
I heard on a podcast that about 3 to 4 of 5 women would need to either go out to the farms and look out for woods that they would use for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And this takes like the majority of the time that they're supposed to use into other productive ventures. What barriers stand in the way of investments to scale solutions in the clean tech?
Well, I think that first, let me correct that not 3 to 4 women go to collect firewood. I mean, that will depend on where. Because currently in northern Nigeria, for example, where we lose about 402 hectares of woodland every year, we are basically out of wood. So there's nothing to pick.
Wow.
So they have to buy. So the problem is actually bigger than even just the fact that the health or the safety of the women is threatened. When you look at this sector, what used to be the barrier to investment was actually the returns. And because you're selling solutions that are going to people who, they can feed themselves, but do they have disposable income for other things? They've learned to live all of their life without the technicalities of life, and they were okay with it. She will cook with firewood, and that's fine, right? But now she doesn't even have the firewood, so things are getting more difficult. As such, she has to find options that work. And options that work are like improved cook stoves, LPG stoves, electrical options, and all of that. And the dynamics of changing to that is really difficult for her. And then finally, maybe some organization comes to her and says, okay, here is an improved cook stove or an LPG stove. And she looks at the price of first buying it. She can't afford it. Meanwhile, the company is saying, okay, buy it and pay small. She takes it and she feels, okay, I'll be able to pay small. But truth be told, the farm produce that her husband farmed recently was not bought with prime money, or he lost most of it. That's why when Toyin was speaking earlier and said something about agriculture being affected by climate change, this is the picture that we're talking about. In one of the communities that we work, ginger is their biggest crop. They used to export ginger in tons. Last year, they had a big ginger crisis. There was some sort of disease that affected ginger. Some 10 years back, this same thing happened to cocoyam in the south.
Wow.
So much cocoyam was lost. And there are several communities in Anambra that's their core crop.
Yeah.
So when such things happen, people lose not just the farming, they lose livelihoods. So we had a very broke community last year. So if I now sell them solar lanterns, how will they pay? If I'm not able to collect, how will investors want to give me more money? So these are the barriers to the investments.
From the policy end of things, what would you advise? What would you suggest?
Well, for me, I would say finally, because I've been 20 years in this space, and it's been a space where government didn't even want to look at. So policies were not even set up for us. We didn't have roadmaps. We didn't know what to do. You were blindly doing your business, and blindly was making you lose a lot of money. But now there's been policies in place that is even making the sector look very interesting for investors, because investors are saying, okay, if there's a subsidy for renewable energies, then I can invest, because if nothing, I can collect on the subsidy, right? So, but what I think government could do more, we never have enough. We're always Oliver Twist, right? What I think they could do more is also ease the business for us, because there are several blockades. It's Nigeria. You go to the customs, you have to go through a lot of hurdles to be able to clear your goods and all of that. You go to pay your taxes in FIRS. FIRS is giving you issues because there are a lot of policies out there to support us, but the implementation is also key.
Now, finally, I want you to look to the camera and talk to Nigerians about how important it is, maybe first of supporting solutions in the space, starting solutions if they need to do that, and what they need to do to ensure that this space, we all own it.
Yeah. So when you talk about solutions in the space and how you adapt to it, the best thing for you to do is to look at even the general, and I'm speaking to renewable energies now, which is where I have sense. Currently, we have only 3,500 megawatts of energy being distributed to us in Nigeria. Options have always been generators, and generators, for every gallon of fuel you use, you're emitting 27 kilograms of CO2 into the atmosphere. Some homes use 5 gallons in a week. So imagine how much one household is emitting per week into the atmosphere. If you can adopt renewable energy solutions, please do. There are a lot of affordable options out there. People are willing to work with you. Companies are out there willing to work with you to do a pay small option. So please go back and look at your finances and go solar. And then generally, don't look at the solution as something that's taking us back, but look at it as something that's taking us forward. Because even in the developed countries, they are now trying to close down on their fossil-powered energy solutions and move into the renewable energy ones. So we're leapfrogging. We're doing very well.
Thank you. Let's go green. Let's go clean.
Yes. Let's go green. Let's go clean.